Okay, disclaimer. To the very best of my knowledge, this story is true. I don't expect to convince you, truth be told. I've had a hard time coming to terms with it myself. And cliché as it may be, I really am a rational person. If not for this, I would probably be the most stone-faced atheist that you'd ever meet. But after much internal struggle and debate, I've come to the conclusion that there are things in life that simply can't be explained with reason. At least, in the form in which we know it. Logic, for all the trust we place in it, is really nothing more than a candle, all too easily snuffed out. And when it's gone, we're left alone in the dark, and everything we would scoff at by daylight suddenly becomes very believable. Alright, before I wax too melodramatic, here's my story. I was very young, only 4 or 5 at most, before either of my siblings were born. It was just Mommy and Daddy and me, living in our little house in Grand Bend, Kansas. Very quaint. And we were a young family without much money, and most of our furniture was second-hand. It was the middle of the day, summer, hot, boring. I was playing marbles by myself on the thin carpet beside the huge old flower-patterned couch. Mom was down the hall in the kitchen, and Dad was at work. Why I was trying to roll marbles around the carpet, I don't know. We had a perfectly good linoleum floor, after all. But there I was, swishing the marbles back and forth, happily bouncing them into each other. Then, in my overzealous enthusiasm, I rolled too hard, and my favorite marble, the clear, ruby-red one, zipped into the dark space under the couch and was lost. Damn it. Dad wasn't home, and he was the only one strong enough to move that huge old couch for me. I'd have to get my marble back myself. I reached my hand under the couch, tentatively at first, then deeper. Encountering no marbles, I pulled my hand back out in disappointment. Then a hand reached out from under the couch back at me. I remember the image vividly, and I suspect I always will. It was a slim hand with tapered fingers, a woman's hand. It was gnarled and wrinkled, as if aged. And it was dead black. No, not black as in African, black as in dead. Of course, back then, I didn't know that corpses blackened as they decomposed, so I didn't know what black meant. The hand reached out to me, as far as it could, which was just up to the wrist. Then it retreated under the couch. Then it emerged again, this time pushing with it a little crumpled-up plastic bag with a logo on it I didn't recognize. It waited, as if expecting me to take the bag. Then, when I didn't, it pulled the bag back under the couch and was gone. I got up, walked down the kitchen, told my mom what happened. Why didn't I run screaming, or at least run? I don't really know. All I can say is, I was a little kid, and a hand reaching out from under the couch to me didn't seem like a huge deal. I hadn't yet learned what was and was not permissible in reality. I had no worldview. My mom was skeptical, but walked me back to the couch and explained how I was probably imagining things. She even reached her hand under the couch to convince me that nothing was down there. Later, Dad lifted the couch up for me. The only thing under it was, of course, my missing marble. Plus a few more marbles I didn't even remember losing. But here's the scary part. For years, I remembered this. I even developed a weird fantasy of little hand people living under the couch, and I, in my childlike innocence, believed that they would catch me and take me away if I ever reached into the domain again. Then, as I grew older, I wrote the memory off as a dream that I had as a child. Cute, but silly. Then a few years ago, I recounted the story to my mother. She gave me a funny look, and then told me that she remembered it, because, after all, she had been there. She told me that she remembered me coming to her in the middle of the day and telling her about the hen under the couch, and remembered being highly disturbed by my story, since I was an extremely quiet, well-behaved kid who didn't ever lie. Then she told me about the couch itself. According to her, she and Dad had gotten the couch from the estate of an old woman who had actually died on it. This was the first time that I had heard about this, but it sure explained why they got rid of the couch within a month of my story. But here's the part that truly frightens me, even to this day. The part that I have to try so hard to get out of my mind some nights. Remember the bag that the hand pushed towards me? I've never forgotten the logo that was on it. And recently, as in a few years ago, I saw the same logo again on what looked like the same type of bag in a hardware store. It was a bag of utility razor blades.